In this video, I am explaining some of the Python coding exercises so that you will get a more clear idea on the concepts. So here let us find out the output of the following programs. So the first one is we are initializing the list of the given string. So our list, that means our message is a list which will store it in this manner. Okay, now here we have to store the message of -1 which is at the index of -1 into the ch variable. That means for the message that is a list, what is the value, what is the character or value which is present at the index -1, we have to store it into the ch variable. So this is the negative indexing. If you know the concept of slicing, you will know more about it. Okay, so the -1 represents the last character of the list. That means here the last character of the list message is m. So the m is stored in ch variable. Okay, now we are printing ch. That means the m value is printed. So if you consider this message as a list with this given string, so the list will be stored in this manner. So now here you have to store the message of the slicing, that is from ranges from 4 to 6. If the step is not given, then it is by default the value will be 1. So now we are storing the elements of this given range into the s variable. So that means now the 6 is excluded, means exclusive, and the 4 and 5 are included. So the items at the index 4 and 5 are stored into the S list. So that means the 4 and 5 are A and B as the items. So now your S will be stored the items as character A and B as the list. So if you print the S, you will get it as the output. And the next one, if you take it as message as online courses Can Labs, then the list, so this is a string. Now here you are taking the list message of some particular range. So here if it is not given, then by default it is 0, that means start. So here you are starting with 0 and 3, and by default the step is 1. So here 0, 1, 2 and 3 is exclusive. So that means in this the index items present at this particular index are O, N and L. Okay, now if you take those as the list, now it will become O, N and L. So now S is a list with these items in this manner. So if you print this S, this will be your output. Now if you take this message as Rahat Colony, and now we are taking the message from negative indexing. That means your start is -5 and your end is -2 and you have not given anything. That means range is by default 1. So now if you take -5, this is negative indexing. That means the last one is -1 and this is -2, -3 and -4 and -5. Sorry, this is a string. Here I have represented as the list. So consider it as a string. So if you take the indexing, now this is -5. That means you are starting with -5. Your item will be O. And next if you add 1 to it, again -4. That is L. Again -3. That is O. So this -2 is exclusive. That means it is not included. So your list will be with O, L, O as the items. So here your list will be in this manner. Now if you print S, your output will be this. So if you take this question, now here the S will store the list of this given string. That means the S will store it as K, A, N, and in this manner it will store. So if you come to the next line, that is T is equals to S, and this is slicing. So if you take this, by default it is start means 0, and this means by default the length of the list, and this is they have given as -1. So this represents of reversing the list. Okay, so this form represents the reversing of the list. That means this t will store the reverse of this given list. That means here the t will store it as s, b, a, l. So in this manner it will store, and it is k. So now this is the t. So if you print the t, you will get it as like this. So this is the output when you print t. So here for this, if you take this as the list and you have storing this num1 list into the num2 list. So now we are printing the id of num1. So here id function will return a unique id for the specified object. That means it will return some unique value which is given for this num1 object. Okay, so suppose you can assume it as like I'll give you, like you can assume it as 139949267, some unique value. Okay, this id function will give some unique, will return this some unique value which is specified for the object. Now if you take the type of num2, definitely you will get it as the type that is list. Okay, because it is a list type, because it's a list. You have copied a list into the num2, so the type of num2 will be list. If you print this statement, you will get it as like this, and print is instance num1 comma list. So here the is instance is a function. This will return true if the specified object is of the specified type. Here the specified object is of the specified type, then only this function will return true, otherwise it will return false. So here the num1 is a type of list and the given type is also list. So the num1 is a type of list, so that's why it will return true. And next print num1 is num2. So here, yes, definitely num1 is num2 because we are copying this list into the num2. So that's why you will get it as true. And here for this, you have storing the num as a list with these elements. Now we are taking the num of this specified range, that is 2 to 4. That means 2 and 3, but 4 is exclusive. So here 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the indexes of these items. So here at location 2 and 3, you are assigning some empty list. That means these are empty. You don't have any elements here. And now you are printing num. So your list will be 10, 20 and 50. Because here in the range of 2 to 4, you are assigning it as some empty list. That means there is no elements here. So now if you print this, you will get it as 10, 20 and 50. For this code, let us check what will be the output. So here num1 is the list with these elements and num2 is the list with these particular elements. Now we are adding num1 dot append of num2. That means actually what is num1? It is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now what is your num2? Which is a list containing these three elements. Now we are appending num1 dot append num2. So now we are appending num2. That means you are appending this list to the num1. So that means at the end of the num1 list, we are appending num2, that is this list. So it will be like this. Okay. So now this is the num1 list. So if you print the num1, you will get this as the output. So here we are considering a list with the specified items and sorted of list. Now we are printing the list. So if you sort this list, what will happen? Just it will return, just the sorted function will return only the list by sorting. Okay, just it will return list by sorting, but it will not modify the list by sorting all the elements. So now if you print this list here, you will get it as same as the original list, because it will not, this sorted function will not modify the elements in the sorted manner in this list. So if you take this here, it has print sorted of list, then it will return the sorted list. That means it will return like 3, 4, 8. So in such sorted manner, it will print the list if you take print of sorted list. But here you are just using the sorted of list, so it will not modify any of the elements in the list by the sorting. So just when you print the list, you will get it as the same original list. So if you take this here, you have taken the list A and B and you are printing whether the A less than B. So this will return true because it will check every element here 1 and 1. So here if you take this, here 1, 1 are equal, so it will not check this, and 2 is equal, so it will not check this. And coming to 3 and 5, so here 3 is less than 5. So this will return true. In case here if you have 10 and here 5, so 10 is less than 5. So this will return false. I hope you got the concept. So for this given one, it will return true as the output.